Hi guys, my name is Bill and today I'm going to share with you a spreadsheet I developed. I get a lot of questions all the time about how to cost a menu, and I developed this spreadsheet to make it easy on you and to show you what you need to do. The spreadsheet, as you can see, has several individual sheets that encompass your menu selections. So we'll start with the master inventory. This is where you're going to list every product that you carry on your inventory, every product that's available to sell, as well as every product that's available to be made into a recipe that turns into a product to sell. So starting here with the category, if you highlight each cell that has a little red caret there at the top, it will tell you what you should be putting in that particular column. So under categories, you could use examples like breads, meat, condiments, spices, or whatever it takes to remind you. I've worked for restaurant companies that have listed everything as frozen, cooler, or dry, regardless of whether it was a meat product, a dairy product, is wherever it was located in the restaurant is how they listed it on the inventory sheet. This is for your information, so you can list it however you want. The source is just a way for you to remember who you're buying from. And that would be, US Foods, Sigma, Sam's Club, Costco, Restaurant Depot, just whatever the supplier is for your products. The ingredient is the name that you're going to call the ingredient. If you're selling 4-to-1 hamburger patties or 8-to-1 hot dogs or buying flour by the pound or chicken tenders, this is where you're going to list that product's name. The case size is what you expect to get out of the case. You want to list it in the smallest unit that you normally would measure it by. So if you're buying, say, flour by the pound and you buy it in a 25-pound bag, you're not going to list it as one bag because you're not going, in all likelihood, not dump all 25 pounds of flour into a recipe. So you want to list it in what your smallest recipe listing would be. So if your recipes call for ounces of flour, then you want to list it as how many ounces are in that bag. And then also I've got a couple other notes here. For instance, some products we buy by the pound, but we sell them by the piece. Chicken tenders is like that. You buy a bag of 3 pounds of chicken tenders, and most of the time it's going to contain very similarly shaped pieces. But if you open up a number of these, you'll see that there's going to be a range, depending upon how they're cut. The range could be as far as 2 or 3 different per bag, up to 10 per bag, depending upon how large the individual bags are. So you've got to come up with an average of what you want to get out of that particular case. The other note I have there is a lot of different folks refer to this as a yield. And what that means is if you buy 25 pounds of tomatoes, clearly you're not getting 25 pounds of tomatoes back out of that. You're going to discard the core. If you're only using tomato slices, you're probably not going to use the top and bottom pieces because those have so much skin on them, it's not real palatable. Onions is another good example. You're peeling away, the roots, the core, the exterior part of the onion, the exterior tough skin. So those things produce a yield. Another good product would be you buy a roll of ham or a roll of pepperoni or a roll of salami, and you slice that. You're going to lose some product to the slicing process. So you're not going to get out of a 10-pound roll of pepperoni, get 10 pounds worth of slices. You're going to lose a little bit. So you need to come up with an average of what you expect to get out of a particular product if it has a less than 100% yield. The cost is what you're paying for it per case. And then this column, the portion column, will divide the cost by the number of portions you expect to get out of it, so you know what a per portion price is. Next sheet over is the individual items. This is something you're going to sell that comes in a case like potato chips or cans of soda or bottles of water. Something that there's no prep work done on your part at all. It's not a part of a recipe. You just open up that case and the product's ready to sell. Prepackaged brownies, candies, that type of thing. So this is your part of the menu for those items. Raw recipes. Raw recipe page is going to give you the opportunity to build a recipe. You can list what you're going to call it on your menu or as a part of your menu. So if you're making seasoning salt, let's say, you can just type in the name and then all the different ingredients from your master menu page are listed here. And then you can select those. And then over here, the recipe amount. And I'll show you all this in just a minute with actual products filled in. And then you can actually type the recipe here. And I have this page set up so that when you go to print it, it will print as a single card. So you can actually use this to train somebody. This is the recipe. It tells them what all the ingredients are, tells them how much of each ingredient to use, and then you can write your actual recipe here and then print it off. And as I said, use it as a recipe card. And this is what your expected yield is. So if you're making a recipe for biscuits, let's say you expect to get 48 biscuits out of it, this will give you a cost per biscuit based on what you have entered in under all the ingredients. Final product recipe page. This page is where you would list, say, a hamburger or a hot dog or any other sandwich or a pizza or whatever it is you're selling that has to be assembled out of the individual ingredients that you've listed from the master inventory, as well as any of the recipes you come up with. So let's say you're making a biscuit sandwich and you want it to have ham, egg, and cheese on it. So you'd pull the ham, you'd pull the egg, you'd pull the cheese from your master inventory and list them here, again, as drop downs. And it automatically will find whatever price you determine from this page for the portion cost, plugs it in there, and you tell it how many of those it needs. If you're putting 2 slices of cheese, you would put the number 2 there. And then if you're going to cost your biscuit from the recipe you've developed earlier, then you would just pull it down as a drop down too. It looks up whatever information you've done from the raw recipe page, plugs in the portion cost. You tell it how many of those are needed to produce this item for your menu. And then this tells you the grand total cost. There's the menu item cost. You can plug in what you want to sell it for. This will give you the penny profit, which is the difference in what you're selling it for what you have in it. And then the food cost, which is a percentage of this divided by your price. Then you can develop combos. So over here, you're going to name the combo, whatever you want to call it. Say you're selling a 2 hot dog combo. Plug that in there. Here you're going to pull the ingredients and how much it would cost you, a bottle of water or a soda or potato chips. Here's the second ingredient. So you can do chips on the top line, water on the second line. And then over here, you're going to pull the menu item from where you have the final product recipes. If you're going to do 2 hot dogs, you just grab another one there. And then it adds everything together, tells you what that combo cost is for you. You can plug in your price point. The recommended price point here is based on what you have as a goal food cost. You can see it tells you your overall food cost goal. So if you want a 30% food cost, you plug in 30% there. It'll convert this into a recommended price, and you decide here what price you want to sell it for. And it'll tell you what the final food cost for that particular item should be. This last page here is just a single place where all of everything you got for sale can be listed. So all your individual products, all your combo products, and all of your individual items, the sodas and waters and so forth. And when you set this one up, it'll print on 2 pages so you can see the entirety of your menu listed. Fairly easy. So let's get into how this actually works. Here's Sam's Club. I just use them because they're just a local source for me and I can get prices pretty easily. So here you have beef franks, $23.98 a case. So we go to the already filled in one. And under meat, you can see I have 8-to-1 hot dogs, $23.98 a case. Now this sheet has already been sorted. That's what these little buttons up here do. You can sort them. So as you're filling in stuff, if you come down here and then add in another meat, let's say you add in a meat, it's going to be from Sam's. It's going to be, let's say, hamburgers. Let's see what Sam's has for hamburgers. So we'll look up a hamburger patty from Sam's and we get We'll go for these just as an example. $18.98. They are 18 count. So 18 count is what we expect to get. $18.98 means they cost $1.05. So now you're thinking, well, this is out of order. That's where these come back in. You can sort A to Z, and now it reorganizes it. If you want the ingredients in alphabetical order first, then you could just do the same. And now it lists everything in alphabetical order. And then if you want to make them alphabetical order within the category, you can see that it relisted them based on alphabetical order of the group first, and then the category next. And if you want to have several different vendors or suppliers, and you want to place an order for one, you could sort those alphabetically to get all of the products together that get ordered from Sigma or from US Foods, so that you have to run through the menu. So that's a good thing to have to help save you some time. So once you've got everything listed that you're going to sell, and here you'll notice I have seasonings, I've got condiments, mayonnaise, mustard, that type of thing, all the different drinks, the different flavors of drinks, because there's plenty of room here. Like I said, you can put 1,000 individual items on here. Over here is where you select a drop down, and let's go with Doritos, and we're going to sell those for, we'll say $1 like the other chips. And there we go. It's going to give me a 25.44% food cost. So there's everything I'm selling that's already packaged that I don't have to do anything to except open up the case and give it to my customer. The raw recipes are items, again, that are assembled together to become part of something else, not necessarily the final product that's given to the customer. I have a sauce. It's a very simple sauce: mayonnaise, ketchup, salt, pepper, garlic, and Cajun seasoning. So it's a lightly spicy sauce with a tad bit of heat to it. And then here's the recipe for it. Take a gallon of mayonnaise, 72 ounces of ketchup, a half of an ounce of salt, a quarter of an ounce of pepper, and a quarter of an ounce of garlic, and then 2 full ounces of Cajun seasoning. And that's going to give me 200 ounce total yield. Actually, just slightly more, about 203. And that's how much it costs per ounce. Down here is another seasoning I have. This is as opposed to a sauce, this is a seasoning that I put on the hamburgers and hot dogs as just a unique kind of thing. And it's just salt, pepper, garlic. 32 ounces of salt, 16 ounces of pepper, 16 ounces of garlic. Yield 64 ounces, costs 19 cents per ounce. And you can do this for everything that has a recipe. Again, biscuits, brownies, bread, anything that you're buying that you're producing that is not being sold to a customer, but is a part of something being sold to a customer, will be a recipe to go here. The final product recipes is what you're actually assembling for your customers. So here we have what I call a deckhand hot dog. It's just a very basic 8-to-1 hot dog. So my recipe for it is 1 hot dog bun, 3/4 of an ounce of ketchup, half an ounce of mustard, 1 ounce of mayo, cheddar cheese, chili, 1.5 ounces. That was 1 ounce of cheddar cheese, 3/4 of an ounce of onions, and 1 ounce of coleslaw. There's how much those individual things cost, and I can continue to add stuff based on whatever I want. Down here, I season everything with the pirate seasoning. So I point 1 shake to me is 0.02 of an ounce. So just a minimal dash, basically. So that makes my total cost 96 cents. My price point is $3.50. Gives me a 27.55% food cost on that product as it sits. Next product I have listed is a Quartermaster hot dog. It's a little bit bigger hot dog. Same ingredients as you saw up here. And that gives me a 28.05 when I sell it for $4.50. Down here, coleslaw. just as an example. Single coleslaw, 6 ounces in a container. Cost me 37 cents, sell it for $1.50, 25% food cost. Or 24.9% food cost. Here's another thing you could assemble. A lot of people call it a walking taco. Since I'm pirate themed, my vending all relates to pirates, so I just call it walking de planks. So take a bag of Fritos, 2 ounces of chili, 1 ounce of cheddar cheese, 2 ounces of liquid nacho cheese, sprinkle some onions on top. Cost me 87 cents, sell it for $4, gives me a 21.83% food cost. It includes also some of the pirate seasoning to give it a little bit of salty and garlicky hit, and a dipping sauce, or not a dipping sauce, but a sauce that I squirt over the top to give it a little bit additional heat. Tastes really, really good. So it gives me a unique walking the planks take, or a walking taco take. Then over here, I got some different combos listed. Again, all pulls from the drop down. So I got a Coke with Lay's potato chips and the Deckhand Dog. Again, just pulls from what I've got listed. There's the Quartermaster, and all the spaces are because of all the spaces that are on the other page. Something you just got to work through, but you find what it is you want to add. Plug it in place. It finds the cost from your other pages, gives you a total. You plug in the price point. I want a 29% food cost as my goal, so this tells me the price should be $5.30 to give me exactly that. But I don't want to deal with dimes and stuff, so $5.50 for me. Quartermaster combo is just a little bit bigger hot dog, same deal. Chips and a drink, the Deckhand, and a walking taco. This only has 2 products, and they're both recipe products. Got a hot dog, got the walking de planks, and that's $1.84. Sell it for $7 total. Make a 26.24 food cost. Not bad. The good thing about this particular combination is it begs for a drink to be sold with it, and I can sell the drink at full price, even further lowering the food costs and increasing my check average. Then over here, everything again is set up as a drop-down menu. You just look for your products, highlight them, click on them, they get listed. And there you have it. Pretty simple sheet. The download for it is a free download available in the description below. I don't ask for an email. I don't ask for money because I want to help you guys be successful. And I hope you find this sheet useful. If I can modify it for you in any way, just let me know. I'll be happy to do that. And I will see you guys in the next video.